Hi, Math Analysis. I hope you're doing well. This is the second half of 10.2 Arithmetic Sequences and Series. So this is about a series. So a series is the sum of a sequence. So S sub n is the number of terms divided by 2 times the sum of the first and the last term. So you can see below that there is the formula for it. So n is the number of terms. So that's what this n represents right there, the number of terms. And a sub 1 represents the first term, and a sub n represents the nth term. So in this sequence here, if we want to find the sum, there's going to be 100 terms because it goes from 1 to 100. So that's the amount of terms. So that's the n is 100. Divided by 2 times the first term, which is 1, plus the last term, which is 100. And when you calculate that, you get 5,050. All right, so find the sum of the first 15 terms of the arithmetic sequence. Well, first of all, we have to use the nth term formula as well as the sum formula. So the first thing is we need to find, we know the first term is 3, and we know n is 15. But we need to know what the 15th term is. So in order to do that, let's find the nth term. So I use the shortcut, which is a sub n is 3n minus a sub n is 3n. Or you could use the formula that we learned in the last set of notes and say 3 plus n minus 1, and the common difference is 3. And when you simplify that, you end up there. Then I want to know what the 15th term is. So now the 15th term is 45. Now the next step is to say, I want the sum of the first 15 terms. So n is 15. So you're using this formula from the previous page, n over 2 times a sub 1 plus a sub n. And a sub n is a sub 15, which is 45. And then you calculate that. That's 360. Okay. A supermarket display consists of 6 rows of stacked boxes. Each row has 3 fewer boxes than the one below it. The top row has 35 boxes. How many boxes are displayed? So the first thing is the top row we'll call row 1, and that's 35. And then the common difference is 3, because each row below has 3 more. And so we know that the nth row has 3n plus 32. Another way to get that would be to use the formula the long way. So up here, how I got that was a sub n equals 35 plus n minus 1 times the difference, which is 3. And then when I distributed that, I wind up getting that. So I did the shortcut when I did the first formula. So I said, well, I know it's 3n, and then when I plug in a 1, I get 3. How do I make 3 35? I have to add 32. So then you want to know what's in the 6th row, because there are 6 rows. And so there's 50 cans in the 6th row, 35 in the 1st row, 50 in the 6th row. So you've got 6 rows, so 6 over 2 times the 1st row, which is 35, plus the 6th row, which is 50. And there you go. You got 255 boxes. Okay, so the sigma notation, find the sum of the first 30 terms. So I'm just going to find the first term, which I plugged in a 1 in to get the first term. Then I'm going to find the 30th term, so I'm going to plug in a 30. And I know the common difference is 6 because it's 6i minus 11. So my common difference is 6. but I don't even need to know the common difference. Because all I need to know is that there are 30 terms. 1 to 30 is 30. And I need to know the first term and the 30th term. So there we have it. You just plug it into the formula. Okay. All right, number 10 is a little bit more challenging. So it says find the first 3 terms. But in order to do that, I need to know the common difference. So the first thing I need to know is that I've got the sum as 1,050. I don't know what n is, so I need to know that. But I know that the first term is 5 and the nth term is 100. So I'm going to solve for n here. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. And I'm going to add the 5 and the 100 together and multiply it by n. So n is 20. So I know n is 20. So the second thing to do is find d. So I know the 20th term is 100. So I'm going to use the formula. So what I didn't show was I used that formula 100 equals 5 plus 20 minus 1 times d, which gives me 19d. Okay, so I just wrote over that, but it's the same thing. So I will erase that. Okay, and then I'm going to solve that, and I'm going to get d. So d is 5. So if the first term is 5, the second term is 10, and the third term is 15. Okay. So that is the second part of 10-2. So this is the first thing to do this week, and then I will post the other video as well for 10-3. Have a great day.